Biosecurity is important to me to really protect the welfare of our livestock, but also the welfare of our staff and also the interests of our shareholders. There's a full induction package on biosecurity that all our staff have to go through, and for visitors, but also in relation to how to respond if there's any issues as well. At all our entry points is no unauthorised entry signs. Visitors need to go through our offices to sign in if they're authorised to do so, and then that includes hand and foot washes, and then obviously the vehicle wash. Our vehicle getting fully sprayed underneath and above. In aquaculture, like in other livestock industries, we've got a number of different pathways for potential pathogens to come onto site. And I guess we can break them into two categories: horizontal transmissions and vertical transmissions. Vertical transmissions we tend to manage through our breeding program, so as we test all of our stock that come onto farm, all of our brood stock, and then once they're on site, we can manage the stock through routine surveillance. Selective breeding is very much a part of those activities, and I think the biosecurity attached to that is often understated. With regards to horizontal transmissions, making sure that we manage our water, both inflow and outflow, our interactions with wildlife, so we have a wildlife interaction plan to make sure that other animals can't bring diseases onto site. The way we manage our husbandry on site is very important as well, so routine health checks. If animals are growing well, then they tend to be healthy, which actually equates into proper biosecurity practices as well. We have biosecurity zones as well, so particularly for the hatchery, which deals with the highest biosecurity zoning through our breeding programs. We'd have to move through the biosecurity zones in our visit so that we manage it in a hierarchical way, moving from highest to lowest. On the farms, we've got a wildlife interaction plan to manage our interactions with wildlife. You will see some birds around here. So we do have a bird scaring drone. We also have gas scaring guns, bird mitigation permits to control birds under certain circumstances as well. All around the farm is we have a perimeter fence. Of course, crocodiles represent a unique challenge in aquaculture. Not only do they potentially eat your livestock, they tend to be mostly smaller animals, but they do move from pond to pond, and that's an obvious biosecurity breach. Biosecurity in an area, for example, is only as strong as the weakest link. So if your neighbour has a breach, then it's likely to affect your business as well. So it's very important to engage with other local producers and really have a local approach to biosecurity to make sure that both your enterprises are adequately managed. The worst thing that's happened to our industry, probably in its entire 35, 40 year time frame, has really been white spot. And of course the issue with white spot virus, it can cause close to 100% mortality. And being exotic, it means that your stock's going to get destroyed and you're going to be without an income. So if you're in a white spot area, as an example, then you'll be wanting to have adequate control measures in place to manage white spot. Most people in agriculture will have encountered some sort of pest or disease, whether you're a banana farmer, a small crop farmer, a cattle farmer, you will have encountered some disease. And if you're a good farmer, you will have spent a lot of time and you would have been talking to people, both in the government and other farmers, about what the best techniques are for mitigating those risks. And then you'd be writing them into your plans and training your staff on how to implement those plans to mitigate those risks, both short and long term. So I think for me, as a long-time farmer, I find it kind of lives in your DNA a fair bit, and a lot of pragmatism, is required to understand that and deal with it on a daily basis. I think that would be good advice for other farmers.